A prophetess of Yahweh came into town. She was known for her prophecies coming true. They were so accurate that people knew it was better to hear them in private and never tell another soul. There was a young man named Patrick. His father was known for always trying to one-up others. One day, while he was with his friends, they were talking about their children. One bragged about how well his child was doing academically, another about how his child excelled at sports, and another at art. Patrick's father just couldn't take it. He knew, everyone knew, not to share the prophetess's prophecy. The prophecy was meant to prepare them for what was to come, not to be treated as if it had already been fulfilled. "Oh yeah," Patrick's dad said loudly. "My son, Patrick, is favored by God. That's right. The prophetess told me that one day he would rule over us all." They all burst out laughing. "What ruler would ever come from your seed? You fool," said one of his companions. "The prophetess said so, and so it shall happen. She was probably drunk from the communion service. Calm down before you give yourself a heart attack." They continued laughing, but they all kept the matter in mind. As the lad grew, it became evident that the prophecy was coming true. Although he was homeschooled, he participated in activities where he could interact with others. He was part of the public speaking, debate, and politics club. He played chess and trained in martial arts. He excelled at them all. Men felt challenged by him. Women wanted to marry him, and others just wanted him as a friend, or at least to be acknowledged by him. He mostly preferred to keep to himself, and the pressure was overwhelming, but Patrick was proud of it. He enjoyed it. He greatly enjoyed being special and having all eyes on him. On his 18th birthday, due to his reputation in the public speaking club, he was hired as a paralegal intern at a law firm. He was so excited. Law was a great career path if he wanted to become a politician and, eventually, president. He loved that saying, "Dress for the part you want to play," and so he did. Everyone at the office looked at him every day. People started dressing better, working out, and making sure he noticed. All of them were on their best behavior when he entered the place. Again, it was a ton of pressure, especially for a kid. With great love and admiration, the opposite also came. Nevertheless, his mindset was, heavy is the head that wears the crown. For that reason, the more pressure and abuse he endured, the more it confirmed his destiny and motivated him. After a few weeks, he overheard one of his superiors talking about a case and offered a suggestion. Everyone but the superior smiled because, while the superior had been ranting for 10 minutes without saying anything of value, Patrick had found a way for them to win the case in one short sentence. That rubbed the superior the wrong way, and he eyed Patrick from that day forward. Actually, after a good night's sleep, processing what had happened in that moment, and remembering the prophecy, every superior eyed Patrick. 2 months in, Patrick wanted to quit. The hostility toward him increased, including from his colleagues. The women were upset because they felt he didn't give them the attention they deserved, when he knew very well they were simply competing against each other for nothing more than to prove who was the most attractive. No one really wanted him. When he talked to them and no one was around, they acted like he was bothering them. But when they had an audience, their behavior immediately changed. The men were upset because he got so much female attention. They would pull out their phones when he entered the office to take pictures of his outfit, mocking him. They would physically imitate him and whisper in each other's ears, pretending to talk about him. This is supposed to be work. These are supposed to be adults. Why is everyone behaving like chimpanzees? Patrick said to himself. He even waited for one of them in the bathroom and confronted him, but the coward acted like nothing was going on. For months later, he got home exhausted and broke down crying. He was crying so hard that he had to put his hands over his mouth so his parents wouldn't hear him. "No, I can't quit. This is the opportunity of a lifetime. People would kill for this. How many people in the world right now are starving and suffering way more than I am? I cannot throw this away," Patrick said to himself. Patrick wiped his face, went downstairs, and said to his father, "Father, I'm quitting the firm." "What? Why? This is a great opportunity. Everyone hates me. Everyone mistreats me. I can't breathe." "Look, son, you must get over yourself, yeah? Life is hard. There are challenges." "No, I will not go back to that fucking place." His father noticed that he was serious. Patrick didn't curse. Something really bad must have been going on. So he got up, embraced him, and told him that it was okay. They would find something else. Patrick sent a text message to the person who had hired him, saying that he was no longer coming back, and he thought that would be the end of it. Unfortunately, he had to go back to pick up some things, sign some documents, and settle the final amount he was owed. The next day, when he walked into the office, everyone reacted to the news. Some were ashamed, others were extremely ashamed. Some were angry, others started crying and had to leave their desks, while others couldn't hold back their laughter. "You are so strong. Couldn't handle a little bit of pressure, could you, little baby?" they said to Patrick with their eyes. When Patrick left, he couldn't stop grinning. A great weight had been lifted off his shoulders. He knew this was only one place, and he knew he was smart and capable. Other places, other industries, would not be like this one. Unfortunately, for the next 18 months, the same issues resurfaced. Everywhere he went, he stood out, even when he learned to stop dressing flashily. In 2 years, he had a total of 10 jobs, all of which ended badly. And so he developed a reputation. Not only did the people at his workplaces hate him, but so did the people in his town. There goes the special one, the one who's meant to rule over us. He thinks he's better than us. He's so judgmental that he thinks the only person worthy of his time and companionship is himself. Antisocial freak, they said. The town felt rejected and humiliated by him, so they decided to humiliate him every chance they got. They constantly threatened to run him over with their cars and then braked abruptly, or simply didn't stop at the crosswalk. They bumped into him on purpose on the street and in the supermarket. When he failed his driver's test, his neighbor, while they were paying for their groceries, said loudly, "Oh, it was going so well," and everyone in the supermarket started laughing. Some people didn't even know who he was. They just knew it was fair game to abuse him. Patrick grew isolated. He stopped going anywhere. He constantly had anxiety attacks whenever he knew he had to go grocery shopping. He wore hoodies to hide his face and avoid people's gazes, even in the scorching heat of summer. He would only go out at night for a run because there were fewer people and he wasn't as recognizable. His cousin came to visit once, and while they were walking toward the mall, his cousin stepped closer to him, and Patrick recoiled out of instinct. His cousin was offended, but he understood why. He knew what had been going on with Patrick. In the mall, since people weren't used to seeing him with a friend, they couldn't stop staring. A woman with her boyfriend decided to be daring and tried to bump into Patrick, but her boyfriend pulled her out of the way. His cousin didn't know how to react. Afterward, as they were leaving the mall, a guy much taller and bigger than Patrick came aggressively toward him with a friend. Patrick lost it. He moved toward the guy, too. He was ready to beat him up, or at least die trying. The guy thought he would intimidate Patrick, but he turned away just as they were about to clash, like in that dangerous game of chicken. His friend got scared and looked down. His cousin was impressed by him. He couldn't believe Patrick was such a badass. "I didn't do anything to that woman because she's a woman. Any man who tries that shit with me, I'm going to kill him. All people do is tease and provoke me. They rarely become violent. Because if they did, they would find out who I am," Patrick said, gloating. "I'm the boss. I'm the boss," Patrick continued. "These talents I possess, the prophecy I've been given, they were all meant to be a gift, but they're nothing but a curse. Why would God do this to me?" Patrick sighed. "I don't know, man. I don't know," said his cousin, putting his hand on Patrick's shoulder. Sometime later, Patrick was in a children's park at night smoking and drinking. A man approached him. "Hey, can I bum a cigarette?" Patrick looked up and gave him 2 cigarettes. The man thanked him and introduced himself. "Hi, my name is Fabio, and you are?" Patrick looked suspicious. "You don't know who I am? Everyone knows who I am." "No, man, I don't know who you are. Are you some kind of celebrity? I don't really watch TV." Fabio knew exactly who Patrick was, but since Patrick was harassed by practically everyone, it was hard for him to keep track of faces. He had even been nice to some of the people who had almost killed him in one of their attempts at car intimidation because he didn't know who they were. "I'm sorry. I apologize." Patrick reached out his hand. "I'm Patrick. What brings you over to this place this evening?" Patrick smiled. Boredom." Patrick and Fabio started talking about life. Patrick talked about all of his problems and how people had been treating him. "Well, maybe if you weren't such a cunt, people wouldn't treat you this way," Fabio said, grinding his teeth. "What? How dare you? So it's my fault now? Carrying the weight of the world on my fucking shoulders. Everyone relying on me for validation and attention. I can't go anywhere. I can't trust anyone. I do nothing. Absolutely nothing. But people act like I'm the bad guy, while they are the ones, the only ones, who act badly. So what? So what if I keep to myself? So what if I reject and ignore people? People do that to each other every day. But for some reason, because I do it, I have to pay for it. No one is entitled to me. But God will make all of them pay for what they've done. Guaranteed. Or there's no justice in this world. Ignorance and mistaking me for a bad person cannot be the get-out-of-jail-free card. I didn't know will not cut it. Patrick paused, and then he realized. Wait, I only told you my version of the story. How did you know I was considered a cunt? You said you didn't know who I was. Fabio pursed his lips. See? You just proved my point. Always with the lying and the manipulation. Accusing me of having trust issues while all of you begin the interaction by breaking my trust. Seriously, man, get the fuck out of here and leave me alone. Do not say anything back. Just walk away. And so Fabio did. Over the next few weeks, something strange started to happen. The car intimidation hadn't stopped, but it had decreased. Some of the women who used to harass him passed by him with their heads bowed in shame. The guys who used to mock him, making sure he noticed them, looked away when he passed by. They still smirked, but they actively tried to contain themselves. What happened? Patrick wondered. Then he put two and two together. That guy I met the other night must have told everyone my side of the story. Now they realize what they've done and are ashamed. Well, not everybody, because a few weeks later, some girl blurted out, "Oh, poor thing. I'm a victim." While in the grocery store, people were making jokes and indirectly trying to make Patrick smile, but he looked bothered and just wanted the line to move so he could go back to his safe place. After attempt, people gave up and looked disappointed. Patrick thought to himself, "You motherfuckers. After almost a decade of abuse, of excusing your shitty behavior, now you just expect me to go back to normal like nothing happened? How dare you? You almost literally killed me. You almost ran me over with your cars. Do you know how many times I was close to suicide? How many knives I held against my throat and wrists? How many wires and ropes looked appetizing to me as a way out of this inhumane situation? Now you just expect, oops, our bad, let's move on now." I don't even know what to say or what to pray for, because at the end of the day, this all might have been nothing more than a misunderstanding. So asking for justice makes me the bad guy. Maybe you should be forgiven because you did not know what you were doing. But why? Why so much glee? Why so much celebration when I failed? And I'm supposed to see you as innocent as blameless? And by the way, where's my crown? What was all this for? Humiliation after humiliation after humiliation. And you people just get to move on with your lives, while the way I see humanity is forever altered. I used to think that people were inherently good, but the Bible is right. People are inherently bad, and all of us deserve hell.